Dennis, can you say something else?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, we heard you.
Yes. Okay.
Hey, I just want to hurry up and get done. I have many things to do upstairs, like close my door, take a little nap, I've been up early.
Okay, we'll call the Tuesday, March 19th, 2024 Williams County Board of County Commissioners to order. Beth, we call roll.
Barry,
Here.
Corey,
Here.
Bo,
Here.
David,
Here.
We have a quorum. We'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's start with the consent agenda.
Motion to approve is presented, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote, please.
Barry,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes,
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
motion passes. Okay, moving on to Section D, public comments. Is there anyone in the audience that would wish to address the board? Okay, seeing none. Moving on to E, bid openings and proposals, and I believe Dennis is on the phone. Is that correct? Dennis,
Yes,
can you
I
hear us?
am.
Okay. Fire away, Dennis.
Okay. Good morning. We'll start with our annual hourly rate bids. We received them from Hanson Excavating, White's Grading Service, and Sundry Sand and Gravel. These are what we use if needed under emergencies or something we need to get fixed that we can't get done.
does anybody?
Did you hear all that?
Yeah, we've got you. Not super loud and clear, but we got you.
Okay, I'm hollering good.
Thank you.
Dennis, you just want us to do the approve all so you can go down the list if you're needing to use somebody like we've done in the past?
Correct. Yes.
I would make that a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote.
Corey,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes,
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, moving on to the gravel crushing. We received bids from Sundry Sand and Gravel in county-owned pits for $3.25 a ton. For Class 5, Class 13 was $3.25 per ton. And the special 71414 spec for $26 a ton. Stone material handling, county-owned pits, $7.85 for Class 5 per ton. Class 13 was $7.50 per ton. And the spec 71414, $7.50 per ton. And then the areas are as needed, if needed, when needed. Are we there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay.
So Dennis, I'm a little confused. I mean, there seems to be a pretty big spread here. So, do you want the same as before, just to approve, or Or what are you looking for? That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, to approve both crushers, but in our county-owned pits, that is, if we have our own gravel pits, that's what the prices are. The areas are if we need to go in there and get 10,000 ton, that's what they're gonna charge us in that area because it's their pile.
Well, I guess I would make a motion to approve sundry and stone material handling.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote.
Corey,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, moving on to gravel hauling. Getzloff trucking with the fuel surcharge, and I'll just read the 10 mile, is $5.35. Frost laws, during frost laws is $8.48. Corb transport, 10 mile is $8.25 per yard. No bid on the frost law. Sundry sand and gravel, 10 mile is $10.05, and frost law is no bid. And again, approving as needed in the area that's needed.
Make a motion to approve the gravel hauling bids as presented.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote.
Steve,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, and moving on, the culvert. Sorry. Are we
Oh.
good?
Yeah, we got you. Go ahead, Dennis.
Okay, culvert. True North Steel. And that's the only bid there is.
Okay,
It's the only supplier.
I'd make a motion to approve True North Steel.
is there a second? Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote.
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes, motion passes. Okay,
Oh, okay, moving on to the county road projects for the season. County Road 4, engineer's estimate, $7,347,344. First bid, Mayo Construction, $6,317,858.60. Central Specialties, $6,438,086. Northern Improvement, $6,670,836.51. Graytech, $2,40. Knife River, $7,267,890.30. If approved, we need to approve it with, when the proper paperwork is in place. Approved when all the paperwork is in place.
I would assume that you're good with the low bid on this?
Mayo Construction would be the apparent low.
Okay, what are the wishes of the board?
Make a motion to approve Mayo Construction.
Okay, we've got a motion for Mayo Construction. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes,
Bo,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, moving on to County Road 11, engineer's estimate, $4,710,000. $4,710,000. Mayo Construction, $4,156,842.77. Central Specialties, $4,286,219.17. Northern Improvement, $4,386,361. Knife River, $4,949,312.80. And the apparent low is Mayo Construction.
Again, and for the record, $4,155,842.77. I didn't know, I wondered if he said 156,000. Okay. Okay, what are the wishes of the board?
Make a motion to approve Mayo Construction.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote.
Barry,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes,
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, that's all I have. We got awful good numbers, guys. It's a very good bid for Williams County.
Nice work. Yeah,
Okay,
fantastic. Thank you, Dennis.
Got something else?
Nope. Thank you very much. Okay, moving to section F, report of department heads, starting with Lindsay.
Good morning. Just
Good morning.
two quick things for you. The first is a grant extension for a community grant from Teensy Toes Daycare. This is their second extension. This is kind of my fault. I should have worked with them a little bit more the first time they requested extension for a longer period of time. Their first extension was only for about a month or two. In reality, that didn't really work. So this is to extend it to July just so that they can finish getting organized with their purchases, et cetera.
Okay.
And
What are
so sorry, I'll just say, included with the request was also then the draft amendment, if you were to approve, then to authorize the chairman to sign.
Okay, what are the wishes of the board?
Due to it being Lindsay's fault, I would make a motion to extend this and authorize the chairman to sign.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Yeah.
I did it.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote.
Corey,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Great, thanks. The next item is Williams County was awarded a state grant through the Regional Workforce Impact Program to be able to add some additional content to Where in Williams County, which is our relocation and community guide by way of a video blog series. We received the draft agreement, which Karen has been iterating with the state attorneys on to get that finalized. And so just seeking chairman's authorization to sign that once it's finished with our legal representation.
Perfect. What are the wishes of the board? Are you doing the 1804 part as well?
On the tourism side, we'll be doing what's there to do on Highway 2.
And then
But wait, there's more on 1804.
marketing genius, I tell you what. Okay. Ain't that bad? Okay, what are the wishes of the board?
Make a motion to approve
And authorize the chairman to sign?
and authorize the chairman to sign.
Okay, is there a second? Footnote.
After legal clears it.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second. I second.
Perfect. Any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote?
Steve,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Corey.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thanks.
Thanks. Have a great day. Okay. Section G doesn't appear to have anything in it. Oh, sorry, Northwest Youth Assessment. I'm so sorry, Marcia. Yes, come on down. Yeah,
Good morning. You guys should have all got a copy of my year-end report, so mostly just here for questions, information. Definitely submitted data different to you guys this year because we can't compare it to years of the past because of the complete change in how we're doing things, so.
how have those changes been?
They've actually gone really well.
Good.
Getting the kids in and out a little quicker, keeps them in a better mindset. Keeps caseworkers in contact with us a little more, so. We are taking kids all the way from Cass County. Grand Forks is working on getting their site up, so they should help alleviate some of that on that eastern side. But right now, it's mostly us and Dickinson that are 24/7 operation.
Well,
Any luck with the hires?
We potentially hired one this last week, going through all the background checks. It takes a week or two to get all those back, so. The nice thing is now we don't have to go through BCI ourselves. Sheriff's Office doesn't have to do the fingerprints, doing it the same way as social services.
great news. Any other questions for Marcia? No.
And-
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Okay. Section G, as I said before, does not appear to have anything in it. So Helen, you're up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I brought Michelle with me begrudgingly a little bit. This is Michelle Roman. She's our new director at dispatch. So I just thought you could meet the board. She might not want to talk very much, so I'll tell you that she has worked for roughly 10 years for the Highway Patrol, has recently been a sergeant in our region, and has worked for, she fit our schedule in with her final days at the HP and has been, I would say this is her second full week.
Yep.
Yep. So you can just say hi to the guys.
Hi.
Hello and welcome. And thank you.
That's got to be the other four that must be intimidating because when you talked a whole bunch. So what's the deal here? I mean, you can't be bashful.
Being in the front, everybody's looking at
Of all 6 people that we have at our meeting today, take a deep breath. You'll be just fine. Thank you for
Yeah.
coming on board.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right, one item that Section G reminded me of, and that is that I was at the Vector meeting this week, and Vector is going to undergo a name change. We might not all refer to them this way, but their name has been the Williston Vector Control District Number 1. And there's long been some discussion about changing it to be Williams County Vector Control District because they do go out into the county. This goes back apparently to the days when Vector started as a function just within the city, and then the Century Code, the legislature changed how it operated, sort of affiliated it with county function. There was just never a name change. Frankly, it's always felt a little intimidating. There's a number of hoops you have to go through to change a name, but we just did it with UMRRDC, so we felt like we all know the right places to go and how to get it done, and so the Vector board did discuss that and and make the agreement at the last meeting. Karen's working through the process with Durrell to make that happen. So I don't know that any of us will really make note of it, but it will happen.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, we want to go on the order that's here.
Sure.
So we have the open positions report. We do have a corrections officer position at the sheriff's office that we'd like your position to advertise and fill.
Okay, what are the wishes?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote.
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes, motion passes.
Okay, on page 2, I failed to properly document something here because, well, I just forgot. So seat 4 is currently open, and we'd like to appoint George Peterson, who applied. Remember, we had District 4 open, no one applied, but Mark Barstead lives there. So you guys proved to move Mark, we opened the at-large position, and George Peterson, formerly on the Planning and Zoning Board, applied for that position. So we need to appoint him, please. But then you'll see that that seat he got appointed to is just in cycle, that term is going to be up. So know that we got somebody in just in time to re-advertise it. Remember, what we do for all folks who serve on a board is that as long as there isn't some restriction on their time of service, we do not only advertise the position, but reach out to them and say, your term is up, but if you want to show interest in doing it again, let us know, and then they're in the list. Make sense? So I need an appointment, George Peterson, to the at-large seat for a term that ends 5/1 of 2024. Or 4/30, excuse me, 4/30/2024.
Are we gonna have to reappoint him then after that again? Okay.
If he likes us enough to reapply, yeah.
That's one whole meeting, okay. What are the wishes of the board?
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes,
Bo,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, on to ballot language. So as we've spoken about in these meetings in the past, you have agreed to place an extension of a vote of the people on June 11th for an extension of the 1%, what was once called the public safety sales tax. We're now calling it the county sales tax because it's not just for public safety anymore. This language was created through the work of bond counsel, which I've come to understand are special attorneys who specialize, frankly, in the work of making sure this kind of language would then enable us to use it against the repayment of a bond if that's how we chose to fund any of the projects that came about after this tax was extended. This language was then reviewed by a number of people here. I sent it to you in a preliminary form as well, and I sent it over to the city administrator and the finance director. And of course, I don't know how they vetted it over there, but we did get some comments back. We worked that back through the bond council. And then, of course, Kieran, our attorney, and others here reviewed it. We updated some language, and here's where we're at. You want me to read it out loud?
Sure, for the record.
Shall the Williams County Board of Commissioners be authorized to extend the 1% sales and use tax throughout Williams County to be dedicated to as follows? A, public safety, supplemental funding to public safety departments and agencies. B, sports, recreation, and community facilities. C, behavioral and rural health programs and services. I'm going to add an S there, gentlemen. Capital improvements to enhance social and economic vitality in Williams County. Such sales and use tax revenues may be pledged to the payment of bonds issued for such purposes in anticipation of the collection and receipt of such sales and use tax. And if so pledged, the sales and use tax may be repealed so long as any such bonds or bonds refunding the bonds are outstanding. The sales and use tax shall be for a period of 10 years, commencing April 1st, 2025. So let's note, I'm adding an S there.
Also, slight mistake. May not be repealed. You said may.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
Key notation, yes.
Wow, no kidding.
Okay, any other questions, comments? Could you fix the yes or no checkbox?
Oh, I'll work on that.
Yeah,
It won't look like that.
gotcha. Okay, and I would assume that we need a motion to support the ballot language?
Yes, not as presented, but as corrected.
Okay, as corrected.
Chairman,
Okay, is there a second?
As corrected.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Beth, roll call vote?
Barry,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes,
Bo,
Yes.
David.
yes.
motion passes.
Great, thank you. One more step. We have had a meeting with the communications person and the city administrator, Lindsay and I did, to talk about ways in which we'll collaborate on making sure the public has information about this vote, about this tax extension. And so we're working on that as well. There are other pieces. There's the idea that we should get out into some of the rural communities so that they have an opportunity to ask questions if they have them in person. And so we'll also be working through that as well.
Perfect. Yeah, it's key to inform the public this is an extension, and it's in all the wording, but there seemed to be a lot of confusion about that last time, so.
Yep. All right, address changes or address corrections is what they're actually called in the rural addressing plan. So we approved the rural addressing plan a few meetings ago. The idea behind this is as we encounter really significant errors that need to be corrected in addressing. But in the case of most of these, what's happened is there's additional development along a road that used to probably feel like a driveway. And so if you picture just a north or south road that has a lot of traffic on it, and somebody darts off to the right and they drive along, maybe it's a section line, and then they end up at their house. They veer north a little bit and they end up at their house. Well, if there continues to be development along that section line, then what used to be an address off of that big north-south or primary road now has to be an east-west street or road name so that multiple people can have addresses. It's not just a driveway anymore. And so that's some of the circumstances that we're working through here. I think we'll continue to see this. And I think it's been happening, of course, over the last 10 or 15 years as we've seen a lot of development. It's just that we haven't been quite as formal as we are right now in the process that we're going to undertake. So let me just go through the list with you. You can see that, and I'm not going to read names and addresses here, but there is a parcel that 63rd Street Northwest has been formally extended to the west, and so there's an additional property with a new address there, and we are correcting this one to match its neighbors now. Same situation with the second item, 49th Street Northwest has been extended to the west, and again, there's another property that has an address that isn't listed here because it's new, and so we update what was the existing property there. We have a section of 3 that are all along a road that again has been referred to as a driveway, but now there are 3 businesses really along this section of road that will be called 52M. And one of the things to know, I think Ryan has pulled that up for you right here. If you look at the screen. And so can you see there's Ryan's giving you an arrow there. So there's really 3 businesses, 1, 2, 3 at the back, 1, and then 2, and then 3 that have access off of this road, which is, you see that 142nd is actually that north-south road. So it doesn't make any sense. If first responders are coming out, it doesn't make any sense that you would go well into this section to get to that furthest back property. There's a whole addressing set of rules for North Dakota called the Burkle system, which I didn't know until we started working on this, was actually invented by Mr. Burkle down in Dickinson many, many years ago. And so that's what dictates what this new east-west road would be numbered or named. And 52M, it's about 51, 52, 53 letters in between. That's how the Burkle system says in North Dakota we're gonna name roads. And so this complies with that North Dakota-wide system. I did actually talk to one of the property owners here. Not only did he call and say, I understand what's going on, I won't be able to be at the meeting, but I just wanted you to know I got the letter and I appreciated the information. It gave me an opportunity to quiz him a little bit about if what we sent out was useful and helpful, if there was something we could do better in this process, because we do want to refine it and make it as simple as we can for the property owners. And he was really nice and kind and thought we'd done a good job of getting the information in the hands of the people who needed to have it. Obviously, no one is here today, and so I think they all understand what's going on. On the back of the piece of paper that includes this summary, you'll see it's small, but you'll see a sample of the letter and the graphic that we sent out. So each property owner gets something. It actually doesn't look like this. It has little arrows that actually show which properties are getting changed and why. And so I think it is pretty useful. And then the last change is actually to one of our buildings. We determined in the auditing that we've been doing of addresses as we update and prepare for some advancements in our 911 addressing system that our county highway building actually has the wrong structure number. And I would tell you that it goes back to our original plans for where the driveway would be for this building would have had the driveway in a different location, which then this address would have made sense. But as it has to do with that curve and state highway right-of-way, we changed the driveway location, and thus the building number here is wrong. And frankly, it was partially me saying, boy, if we're going out to change other people's addresses when they're wrong, I feel like we have to apply the same set of rules to us. I think it will also be a reasonable undertaking for us to do whatever it is we need to do to update this number, which is somewhat complex. We have to change the numbers on the building. We have to change it. But again, we're asking others to do the same thing. And so we'll undertake the same process. And in the future, we'll be able to better explain what it takes to get it done. That's exactly, that is part of my thought, is no better way to understand the pain as we ask others to do it than to have done it ourselves.
So the gentleman you talked to, was that the 5247 address?
Yes, it was.
Oh. Oh, he's a township supervisor or chairman?
I think he does serve on the township,
Yeah.
in a township role.
Yeah. That's great feedback, especially from that township.
Yeah, I was pleased that he understood. I mean, that what we sent out helped people to understand what was going on. That was the goal.
Perfect.
And we're refining the process. One of the pieces Karen and I have talked about is, what if there were tenants in a property? How would we know that? But how would we make sure that they knew the address of the property that they're renting changed? So we'll keep thinking about what we have to do, or how best to do it.
Perfect. When does it go into effect, and, I mean, what's the process?
Yeah,
here
so
for-
the letter that went out says, we already do a monthly update to the US Postal Service about all of the new addresses, or sometimes there are other address corrections that we make. Maybe a citizen comes in and asks for an address correction, and if it meets the criteria, we do it, and we don't go through this process. So monthly, we provide those updates to the US Postal Service. So at the end of the month, these changes will be provided to the Postal Service, and so in essence, this change takes effect April 1st.
Okay. One question I have is, with regards to addressing, there's some unique road names out there, one of which is Harm's Way, where Robert Harms lives. Another one is Psychopath, where Richard Psycho lives. How does one go about getting these roads named in such a fashion?
Well, I think you,
Yeah,
You remember how you got the name Kemp Road?
no, I don't want to remember that at all. Yeah,
yeah, so there's recorded road names, which I would believe the first two that you mentioned are, and that happens when you record a plat for a subdivision or for a division of property. Cameron could probably answer better how that whole process goes, but that's really how roads get named, is in the making of them, they get named.
okay,
We, the county, would say we don't love road names because when we're sending first responders, road names make it difficult for them to know where that is. If we give them numbers and, if we give them structure numbers and then road or street numbers that relate to their surroundings, it's actually easier to find things, of course.
No.
Kemp Road was never a formal recorded name, but rather a shorthand for a road, which you can start a process to shorthand a road for you
no,
anytime you
thank
want.
you, yeah, nope,
All of these many years I've been here, people refer to a road as the Iverson Road, which is not recorded anywhere, I don't think, so.
no.
I mean, most people know where it's at. Took me a lot of years, I don't.
What the, right, well, I could see the hesitancy in a first responder wanting to go to Psychopath. I mean, just, I don't know, just me maybe, but,
It's pretty creative, though.
yeah, yep.
Yeah,
I apologize, I digress.
yeah, that's okay. I like a little fun.
Yeah,
So I do, so one of the pieces in our plan is that the board, and you say, I made it in italic here for you, will consider public comments, if any, regarding corrections which were submitted. So I think you maybe want to make sure that there's no one in the audience who would like to comment on these address corrections. And I can tell you that over the phone, I received only one phone call, and there were no concerns from that caller.
wonderful. If there's anybody in the audience that would like to address us regarding address changes, please come up now. Seeing no one willing to approach, we can move on.
All right, so then I need your approval,
Okay.
if you agree.
What are the wishes? Your hand's closest.
Make a motion to approve these changes. Do you need it with chairman signature?
No, nothing to
Okay.
sign.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote. Yes.
Steve? Bo?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Great. Any questions for me?
Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Okay, thank you very much. And with that, we will adjourn.